Okay, quick question. What happens when a global AI summit meant to talk about the future of humanity suddenly turns into a shirtless political theater? You know that actually happened, right? Welcome back. And let me tell you a bit about the drama at the AI Impact Summit. But I also want to tell you why this story shouldn't actually be about protests at all. Rather, it should be about leadership. Global leaders, tech CEOs, AI researchers, startup founders, basically everyone who thinks about the future for a living gathered to discuss artificial intelligence. India was trying to do something big here, not just host an event. It was positioning itself as a convening power in the defining technological revolution of the century, just as Davos did it for globalization. India signaled to the world we're not just participants in the AI revolution, we want to lead it. And then a group of political activists storm into the venue, shirts off, slogans on, chaos for a few minutes, and within hours, the visuals go viral. And just like that, algorithms out, politics in. Now, here's the thing protests in democracies, totally normal. People disagree, people demonstrate, and that's just democracy doing democracy things. But the story changed when the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, praised the protesters. The brave lions, as he called them, were raising suppressed national concerns. That's where this stops being a protest story and becomes a leadership story. This is where the responsibility of the leader of opposition becomes clear. An opposition leader must challenge the government and challenge it quite vigorously, while also demonstrating a readiness to govern. Now, that requires a balance, opposing policies, but without appearing to harm the nation. Democracies function because dissent exists, but leadership is judged by how dissent is exercised. So here's the dilemma. When your country is on a global stage, are you just an opposition politician? Or are you also representing the nation's seriousness in the world? You see, the international audiences don't really separate the government and the country the way domestic politics does. They just see India. So suddenly the question becomes, how do you oppose a government without shrinking a national moment? That's a hard balance. And honestly, every democracy struggles with it. But the shirtless protest, that took it to a whole new level of ridiculousness and recklessness. Now, here's the twist that nobody seems to be talking about enough. The AI summit was actually a golden opportunity for the opposition. Think about it. AI is terrifying and exciting at the same time. Jobs will disappear, new industries will rise, data privacy, inequality, education. Almost everything is about to change. Imagine if the opposition had walked in with a bold set of questions. What's India's AI jobs plan? How do we reskill millions of workers? Who owns the data? How do small businesses survive the AI wave? That conversation could have and would have dominated the headlines. Such an intervention would not have weakened the government's platform. It would rather have strengthened the democratic debate while signaling the seriousness of purpose. Instead, they chose shirts, or rather the shirtless. So here's something that politicians and politics rarely admits. Activism gets all the attention, but it's the leadership that gets the trust. Viral moments, yeah, they energize supporters, but they don't necessarily convince the undecided citizens that you're ready to govern. And voters, especially young voters, are increasingly asking one question. Okay, you oppose the system, but what's your plan? That's the huge gap that this moment has exposed for the opposition. At one level, this isn't about just Rahul Gandhi. This is about a transition unfolding in Indian politics itself. India is no longer just arguing about its past. It is, but it is also arguing about the future: technology, innovation, its global influence. And just when a country starts thinking about its future, its political expectations also start to change. People don't want louder voices, they want bigger ideas. The AI summit controversy will fade. It already has, I think. But another political storm will replace it soon, I'm sure, because that's just how the news cycles work. But the real question stays: artificial intelligence is going to reshape how millions of Indians work, learn, and live. The real debate was never about a disrupted hall. It was about who would step forward to speak for the future of Indian worker, the student, the entrepreneur, standing at the edge of technological change. Because nations don't rise when politics becomes louder. Nations rise when politics becomes larger than itself. Think of John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, Abraham Lincoln. You know what the former Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, said about Kennedy? And she says that in this book. She praises Kennedy for his art of bringing others along. She says, Kennedy's eloquence seemed to exemplify an America sure of its direction. And Reagan she praised for his quiet genius of common sense. Sadly, and not so quite unexpectedly, for India's opposition, the protesters and their leaders missed an opportunity to ask the real questions. Their activist leader, Rahul Gandhi, in my opinion, missed a stellar golden opportunity, an opportunity to start becoming a statesman. But the bigger exposition is that not only the opposition has no vision, it is not interested in letting that vision develop. You see, India doesn't lack voices. I'm sure someone in the opposition has great ideas on India's future with AI, but I'm waiting for their leader to recognize that vision in his own party. History, you see, tends to remember those who redirect moments of noise towards conversations about the future. For opposition leaders, the challenge is to transform their activist energy into a statesman-like authority. Politics makes politicians. Purpose is what makes the statesman. Rahul Gandhi can still be won only if he finds his purpose in this AI moment. Now, mobilizing supporters is one skill, but persuading a broader public of statesmanship and governing readiness is a whole new ballgame. The distinction often lies not in what is opposed, but what is proposed. I'm sure, just like me, you have friends who hate politics, but still love the headlines behind the headlines. Share this dispatch with them, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.